Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Trickett, and yes, this is Turn It Around Tuesday. I'm hanging out in my backyard with nature. Listen to the birds sing. It's beautiful, right? It's like being at the ocean. You get that same calming, soothing effect from it. So it's nature. It's perfect harmony. It's gotta love it. Anyway, with that being said, guys, look, on this Turnaround Tuesday, I'm here to say make love your religion. First of all, why do I say love? I say love because God says God is love and love is God. So now that we got that out the way, that's why I'm saying make love your religion. If you just have to have a religion, make love your religion. Why? Why do I say love? Because then when you make love your religion, guys, you can't separate nothing. You can't pick and choose. You don't have the benefit to still say I want to be like the old me, even though I said I'm in a new family spiritually. Go figure that, right? But it happens. And we're not upset. We're just going to work with everyone, right? Because some people will take a little bit more time. And I was just told recently that, sometimes it's a slow process, to just see things in a different light. So anyway, I say make love your religion because it does not discriminate on any level. On any level, it does not discriminate whatsoever. So, what I mean by that is that who doesn't want love, right? Who doesn't want love in their life, right? Like, how could you be crossing the line helping someone that got a flat tire? That's love. That's love. Giving somebody some food that might have been hungry or homeless, and you gave them some money or the family money, or you put them up in a hotel and helped them out. That's love. Or somebody was brokenhearted and needed some encouragement, and you were the person to be the angel that they were entertaining in their life, that gave some wisdom or some soothing words and some comfort, and that was love. Once again, all these traits are love. All these traits are love. All these traits are God. Whether you're an atheist, a Muslim, a Christian, a Buddhist, doesn't matter, guys. That's why I don't get caught up. Because it's too easy to do things to trigger people, and then they never learn. They never go forward. They're just stuck. This is the way it's always been. You're like, wow, so you don't believe in progress? But you got a cell phone. Okay, I'm only kidding, guys. A little humor. But I'm just saying, that's just because so many of us aren't really looking at what we're doing. We're just doing it out of habit. But love, guys, how can you offend someone with love? You need help, you are there. They needed prayer, you were there. Whatever the case may be, because love is always going to show up and relieve the other person of whatever they were going through. If they were stressing, you're going to be the comfort. If they were lonely, you're going to be the one that's going to be their companion. All love. See, it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, Baptist, a Buddhist, or this or that, an atheist. I don't believe in nothing, bro. Whatever, doesn't matter. Because whenever you do good, you are imitating God. Come on, Bible Belt. You're imitating God whenever you do good. But the thing is, with love, there's a catch-22. When you make your religion love and you really try to live by it, now you have to start making some hard choices. Now the rubber meets the road. Now you can't be lukewarm and have 1 foot over here and 1 foot in, quote unquote, over here on your spiritual side. You just can't do it. I mean, I know it happens all the time, but I mean, when you take the walk for real, like when you're real serious about it and you're not playing, and then you can't do it. It's like driving down the street, driving down this on the wrong side of the street. You can do it, but it wouldn't be healthy for you, right? Like you're going to be cutting yourself off of something, or it may even be detrimental to you, driving down the wrong way or making those bad decisions like that. So, once again, when you have love, you have none of that to worry about, but you can't go back to your default ways. You can't be like, I know this is wrong, but the minute you throw the but, and then, hey, you're guilty by association. Don't believe me? Be with some people that committed a crime. You absolutely did nothing, but you are with them, and see if guilt by association doesn't get stamped on you. Absolutely. So if we can see it in that case, we should be able to see it in all cases. The only thing we have to deal with is our decision. That's it. To play the game, because it was just a game at that point. To play the game, because whenever you give love, you're acting like Jesus. You're acting like God. And what is the greatest gift? Love. Isn't that what the Bible says? It's love. And why does it say love your neighbor like you love yourself? Something very few people do. They'll cuss you out. They'll hate you in your mind. Hell, you won't even be able to be in, you won't even be invited over for a cup of coffee. But I'll invite you to church. Oh man. So anyway, it's just humor, but it's real. But anyway, check this out. With that being said though, with love, guys, you don't have the opportunity to do those things that you did before. And even if you slip up, I mean, you can always, make it right. But, doesn't even the Bible say, for those who know it's wrong and they do it, to them it's a sin? So how many people know things are wrong and they're just rolling with it? And so where's the loyalty at? I see why God now says that, I just throw you up like vomit, and he uses vomit, something grotesque, because he's like, that's how basically I'm looking at the individual. You can't make up your mind one way or another. The Bible says, I'd rather have you hot or cold. Hey, go all out with that, or cross on over to doing what's right. What does God say? If you deny him, he will deny you. Well, whenever you deny love, and then you are denying God, which will deny you. You know how you know? Because you have issues that come up in your life, and you have been programmed to tell yourself it's just life. Because who wants to be told, no, it's the way I think. I'm not always thinking good about people. I'm not always thinking good about myself. I'm not always feeling good about myself. So therefore, that energy that I'm putting out there, it's coming back. As a man thinks, so is he. So it's coming back to me, whether I believe that or not, whether I ever read it or not. Doesn't matter. If you jump off a roof, whether you know the laws of gravity or not, or not, you know what I know is going to happen? You're going to fall down. Whether you believed it or not, whether you know it or not, it doesn't matter. Jump off the roof. You're falling down. You're not flying. So it's pretty much, that's what it is. And so that's the whole reason why I always choose love. Because look, nothing violence begets violence. That never works. And fear drives all this. And you know it's fear because the people reaction will always be in a fearful state and a threatening. Whenever you get threatened, whenever you get threatened, yeah, someone was scared. You could check their blood pressure. I guarantee you it went up because it's fear. And what does God say? Perfect love casts out all fear. Why does he say that? Because he's love. And what's stronger than him? Nothing, no one. And when you identify with that source in you, and then you start to do things better, feel better, have a better life, and not waste it here, just knowing that you ain't doing right and not trying to do right, but just accepting things and just living with an existence that you know you're not really happy. Not me, you. You know you're not happy. You know, guys, we're in the South, right? And yeah, and I know about all the history and whatnot. I get it. But you know, I'm in a great town, beautiful people, regardless of the ups and downs, because everybody has it, right? Everyone. So I'm not judgmental like that. I understand that. And I understand everybody comes at different times. Some people come a lot faster. Some people have to have a little bit more patience. I mean, it is what it is. It's just, what are you made out of? What are you built out of? What are you willing to accept? What kind of life are you willing to live? What are you willing to sacrifice your freedom for? Because, and the reason why I say that, because we're in the South. Slavery existed here. Can you believe that? Jokes, guys, but it's true. But what I'm saying is, it still exists. And calm down, folks. No, I'm not talking no, oh yeah, it's still here, girl. No, I ain't talking about none of that crazy junk. Let me tell you about the real mind game. Slavery's here, guys, because so many people, your own relatives, your own parents, have enslaved you. Your own friends have enslaved you. Your own circles of people have enslaved you. And you know what's worse? What's worse is to be enslaved in the mind and can't get out, and can't figure out the freedom, and can't figure out the peace that you would love to have on a consistent basis. And so many of us are enslaved through the mind. All the I can'ts, all the fears that's been put on them. From relatives that meant good, trust me, love them to death. They all meant good. You ought to. But they're only teaching you what they've been taught. And so, but it doesn't make it right. That's why when we find better ways to do things, we do it. That's why we don't use terms like, if it's been this way, it's just always been this way. No. That's why I say, you got a cell phone, it has not always been this way. If it always been this way, what kind of world would that be with no evolution, no growth? That would really just be boring at that point. We're always stuck in one year after year after year. Wow, that'd be Groundhog Day. Forget that. But it is Groundhog Day for a lot of people. It's Groundhog Day for a whole lot of people right now. And they're trapped in a mental prison. And they're enslaved in so many different ways, so many different aspects. Sickness may have them enslaved. And enslaved in the mind is that's the worst thing that can ever happen. Because even if it's physical slavery, which obviously I don't agree with anybody, but I'm saying even if it was, eventually it's over. But that mental slavery, and then it's not even coming from the outside world. 9 times out of 10, it's coming right there from inside of your own home. And so you're trapped. You can't even be free. So many of us. Sickness, anxieties, worries, fears of all sorts. Perfect love, though. The religion of love. Make love your religion. Perfect love, the Bible. What God says. Come on, guys. Perfect love casts out all fear. So to have these fears and these doubts, and to be concerned about the odds and what they said or he said, or look how long the lines are, we'll never be able to get this or get that. That's crazy, because we don't supposed to be looking on the outside and then investing our emotions into it. We don't supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to see it and go, okay, yeah, I heard what he said. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, whatever. And then you go in your mind, in your closet, and then you remember that you were told whatever you ask for in secret, that you'll get it in the open for all to see. You're like, man, I can do that. The only catch is you can't have any doubt. You just got to hold on to that belief until it shows up and manifests in your reality. Most people can't do that, because 5 minutes after, they're already on the phone talking about how they hope that it might come, may come, and already working on a plan 2 or 3. So why should you get anything that you don't believe in? You won't. You'll only keep getting what you believe. So if you have bad religion, and to me, bad religion to me does not mean churchy stuff only. Religion to me means everything in life, guys, is religion. And what I mean by that, if you were making a cake, and I didn't tell you about the oil or the butter, you would get something that looks like a cake, probably even cuts like a cake. But then when you go to taste it, it's not going to taste nowhere near like a cake. So what you got was lack of knowledge. And we always suffer. Doesn't the Bible say, my children perish? It's not just churchy, it's in every area. Whatever you lack knowledge in and you don't know how to do it, there's going to be some type of learning curve there that you're going to have to endure. So you don't put the right ingredients, you're going to have to deal with it. It's not going to come out right. If you are fixing a tire and you didn't put all the lug nuts back on, and then your tire falls off, once again, lack of knowledge. Whatever you don't know, and then you still attempt it, you may be fortunate 1 or 2 times, but 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a learning curve there because of your lack of knowledge. And so there's always a price to pay when you don't know. And so with that being said, going back to love doesn't take a whole lot of education. Doesn't mean you're dumb, I'm dumb. Doesn't mean you're slow or I'm slow. But it doesn't take a whole lot of education. Anyone can do it. Anyone that just wants, anyone that can remember, if I were you, but I want to be treated the way I'm treating you. Most people don't have enough love to even think that far. Going to church, hey, that doesn't do anything. You can sit in a garage all day and it doesn't turn you into a car. So, you can go to church all day and still come home and still have all those, I don't believe, all those doubts, all those fears, all those, this is the way it is, and all that stuff that you shouldn't have, because you're an amazing, awesome person The Spirit of God lives in you, whether you acknowledge it or not. And you have an amazing mind and an amazing imagination that if you just put it to the test and just test it and change those ways, change your religion to love. Can't offend a Baptist loving them. Can't even offend a Muslim or an atheist loving them. Can't offend a gay person or a lesbian loving them. You can't offend no one loving them. How are you going to offend somebody doing good? They're just going to feel guilty if they say anything negative to you. Because people are going to be like, really? He wasn't even doing nothing. Like, so what I'm saying is, that's why I stick with love. Because love always wins. It may seem like you take a beating. It may seem like you might have to endure a little bit more. There's no seeming to it, you will. But if you don't have people that are built like that to be able to do this, and then there'll never be changes. If we didn't have a Wright brothers, and then we would never had a plane. We'd still be walking. If we didn't have, Henry Ford, we wouldn't have the Ford, vehicle. It always takes somebody. You're not going to get a million of them at one time. But it always takes someone that's strong enough and believes in what they believe in. Strong enough. And I'm talking about believing in doing right. I'm talking about believing in love. But I want you to do that to me if I were you. So why am I doing that to you? Somewhere I'm broken. Somewhere something ain't right with me, and I need to get that right. Because how can I even be claiming heaven or all this other stuff, right? Religious stuff, right? That's why I call it religion. It's very little, there's no power in it, except for it just holds you back. Because see, stuff like that happens. You're stuck. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no real authority in it. So you're still operating on fear while sitting in church. Still operating on doubt while sitting in church on this Turn It Around Tuesday. That's why we're turning it all around. You don't need to. It's time to smile. Time to be happy. You know what? It's time to be free and not treat it. And it's time for you to get out of prison. It's time to stop being a slave. I don't put a color on slave. I put a mindset on slavery. I put a mindset on racism. I put a mindset on poverty. I put a mindset on those that make excuses and the doubters and those that still been operating off of fear year after year after year after year after year. That love that casts out fear just has not kicked in yet. Religion, no power. So, but love is power because God is love. So when you just operate off of that basis, you'll always win. Because even not knowing any Bible, any of that, if you are just operating off the basis of love, I'm going to treat you like I would like to be treated if I were you. You're always going to win. You're always going to reap good things in life. You're always going to smile way more than the other person's like, man, forget that person, or man, forget that. I ain't doing this, F that, or whatever. And they got all the negativity energy putting it out there. So what? They're going to get it all back through all kinds of different people. And they'll just be like some very unhappy folks and not know why they're unhappy. See, that's slavery. They're the ones enslaved. That's slavery. Who's ever living like that is enslaved. But see, you're like the master and the slave because you can get yourself out of slavery whenever you want when you change your thinking. So that's it, guys. Make love your religion on this Turnaround Tuesday. I think I went long enough. I'm going to go do what I got to do. And you guys are all amazing. You will always be amazing, even if it's taken a minute, even if you're still wrestling with fear, even if you're still dealing with, man, I know it's right, but, and you still got all the buts. It's all good. It's all Gucci. I got you. I promise you. No hard feelings from me at all. I got nothing but love for you. Because when I show love, I get love back in more than one way. It's not like you show love and, it just never works. It just doesn't work like that. I mean, because, my thoughts aren't even like the average person's thoughts. So I'm just always keeping good energy and good vibes all the time and towards everyone. Most people are not going to do that. They're going to walk by you. If they don't talk to you, they just don't talk to you. They're in their prison. They're enslaved. Just another slave. But you love the slaves because you were once a slave and now you woke up. So you know what you do? You look back and go, man, all those are my brothers and sisters, man. We're all connected. We're all the same soul. We're all part of that same soul of the Creator who made all of us. We're all connected because there was no one outside of Him that made all of us. So we're all related. We're all connected. We're all wearing these costumes and we're doing what we do. But we need to remember who we are, because we get caught up in wearing the Halloween mask. And you think you're John Doe. And you're not John Doe. That's your second identity. Your first identity is, God says that He put His Spirit, He put Him inside of all these suits. So your first identity then would be Spirit, which is perfect love. That's why everything goes back to love, because that's who you are. So when you wake up, you remember that you just been kind of like dreaming, kind of forgot who you were for a little while. And then when you figure it back out again, that you're just in the suit. But when you take off the suit, everyone is exactly the same, because we all belong to the one that created all of it. And we're like, wow, I was never that costume after all. I was never that suit after all. No. That's why the body, what does the Bible say? It goes back to dust, because all it was dirt. It's, oh man, that wasn't the value. Your suit I put you in, or I jumped myself in. It was what was inside. Halloween's coming up. Everyone's going to look like something else. But you know what? When you take off the mask